So already I have sent you the PDF.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Pavitra, you will be having your exam in July month, I think you said, right? Yes, Pavitra?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. In your school, which chapter they are teaching now?
Now they are on the third chapter, admission of partner.
Okay. How you are feeling that admission of a partner?
Yeah, ma'am, I'm understanding what my teacher is teaching.
Okay, fine. Actually, if you understand admission properly na, it has link with admission, retirement, death, sorry, retirement and death. So if this concept is clear to you, like admission is clear, that revaluation account and all, the same revaluation account you have to prepare in retirement, you have to prepare in other chapters. So it will be a great useful to you if you understand the chapter nicely. And goodwill treatment is also same for other chapters like retirement and death. Okay. These three chapters are interconnected, like admission, retirement and death of a partner. Dissolution is a different chapter. It has nothing to do with these chapters. But first three, that is admission of a partner, retirement and death, are interlinked. So if admission is clear, other chapters will be easy for you. Death is very, very easy. Retirement will also be easy as compared to this admission. Okay, just a moment. Goodwill. Any doubt anyone is having in fundamentals, dear? Swarnika, Pavitra, Sachin, so for whatever I have taught you, you have any doubt to ask in fundamentals?
No, ma'am.
Oh,
No, ma'am.
okay, dear. Where is goodwill chapter? Just a moment. Yeah. Okay. So now we are going to learn goodwill. Now, what is this goodwill? What we mean by goodwill? See, whenever a business runs for a long time, for example, 5 years, 10 years, a particular business is in existence, and if it is giving quality product to the customers, if the business is honest, like doing its business honestly and all, giving the product to the customer at reasonable price, so all these things will attract customer. At the same time, the business will have a good reputation in the market. Customer will come again and again to the same shop to buy the products. In this way, goodwill helps the business to increase its profit also, because the same customer will come again and again. Customer will not go to any other shop, and if customer is satisfied, then what will happen? Customer will tell to other 10 people that go to this shop. In this shop they give us quality product at reasonable price. So in this way, goodwill helps the business to increase its profit, and it helps the business to have a good name, good reputation in the market, to attract customers. So goodwill plays a very important role in our day-to-day business. Now, what are the situations when we calculate goodwill? There will be certain situations when we will calculate this goodwill. Reconstitution of a partnership firm. Start writing. Now, what is the meaning of reconstitution of a partnership firm? A partnership business can be again and again reconstituted. So, there will be some situations where business will be reconstituted. Again, it will be like again in a after signing into a new agreement, again the business will continue. For example, first of all, what is reconstitution? Reconstitution means change in agreement. As I told you already, before starting any partnership business, it is mandatory to have an agreement between the partners who have agreed to start a partnership business. Now, this agreement may be oral or written, but always it is preferable to have a written agreement between the partners so that in future disputes can be avoided. If the agreement isn't written, no partner can deny anything because their signature will be there and it is a legal document. It can be presented before court in case of any disputes or any fights between the partners. It is a legal evidence. That is why it is preferable to have a legal written agreement before starting partnership business. So reconstitution means change in agreement. Suppose once the partnership business is started with a written agreement, after like few months or few years, again suppose there is any change. For example, now partners have decided to change their profit or loss ratio, sharing ratio, then again we will say that reconstitution has taken place, because the agreement, whenever the agreement between the partners changes due to any reason in partnership business, that is reconstitution. Again the firm is starting from beginning, you can say in that way. Actually the firm is in existence only, but the agreement, whenever the agreement changes between the partners due to any of the reason, we call it as reconstitution. So are you understanding what is the meaning of this reconstitution of a partnership firm?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, reconstitution occurs when? As I told you, what is reconstitution? Change in agreement between the partners. Now, what are the situations when this will take place? Admission of a new partner. Suppose there are two partners, A and B. They have agreed and started a partnership business. After 1 year, suppose A wants his friend C to be included in their business. A will ask B, can you please admit my friend C into our business? He will also bring capital and we can expand our business, and he has some good knowledge in technology which will help us to earn more profit in this way for any reason. And suppose B says, okay, let your friend come and join into our business. So now what will happen? Now the agreement will change, because for example, before C's admission, A and B, suppose they are sharing their profit or loss at 3:2 as per the agreement. But once the C, the new partner, comes into the business, what will happen? Of course, whatever profit is earned by the business, now it needs to be shared between three. So A needs to sacrifice his share, B needs to sacrifice his share. Very easy. See, suppose you and your friend have ordered one pizza. Now both of you are going to share half when the pizza comes to your table. Suddenly, like you didn't expect, unexpectedly one of your friend comes and joins you. Now what will happen? From your pizza, you have to give one share to your friend also. So now this half of, then you both of you have to sacrifice some of your shares. In the same way, profit also has to be shared between the three partners. So what I want to tell you, that whenever a new partner comes into the partnership business, reconstitution takes place, because agreement between the partners changes. New agreement, new partnership deed needs to be prepared legally by all the three partners. Now next, change in profit sharing ratio. Suppose A and B are the partners, they are carrying their business. Suddenly after 6 months, 7 months, they want to change their profit sharing ratio. Then what will happen again? There is a change in agreement, reconstitution will take place. Now, retirement or death of a partner. Suppose A and B are two partners carrying their business. After 1 year, 2 year or 10 years, B is a partner who wants to leave the firm. He wants to get retirement from the firm. So, what will happen? And suppose in place of B, some other partner is coming and joining the partnership business, maybe C. Then what will happen? Uh, one partner is retiring from the firm, one partner is coming into the business as new partner. All these will need to change in their agreement. Old agreement needs to be removed, a new agreement needs to be made as per the requirement of the partners. Whenever there is change in agreement, reconstitution takes place. Any doubt so far?
No,
No,
ma'am.
Okay. Now death of a partner, unexpectedly death will, we don't know when death comes to us. So suppose A and B are two partners, suddenly A or B, any one of the partner dies due to some reason. Then what will happen again? There is a change in partnership agreement, then reconstitution will take place. Now amalgamation, what is the meaning of this term? Two firms making same product and are competitors to each other. When joined together, then amalgamation takes place. Suppose toothpaste. There are different brands for toothpaste: Colgate, Close-Up, Pepsodent, many more. Many more, we don't know. There are a lot of brands in our market. So there are a lot of competitors for the same product. Suppose Colgate and Close-Up both are making the same product, toothpaste, for customers. Suppose they both want to join together and do the business. That is known as amalgamation. Means competitors who are selling the same product, when they join together and do the business. That is amalgamation. In that case also reconstitution takes place. So any doubt in this reconstitution? Yes?
No, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, fine. I hope all of them are writing, preparing their notes. Okay, fine.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Change in profit sharing ratio. Sacrificing ratio, there is a formula to calculate sacrificing ratio and gaining ratio. Sacrificing ratio equals to old ratio minus new ratio. Gaining ratio equals to new ratio minus old ratio. Now write only the formula, because when I will teach you admission, after goodwill I will teach you admission of a partner. Different variety of question I will teach you, how to calculate sacrificing ratio and all. Gaining ratio we will learn in retirement. But for the time being, you just write these formulas. So in detail we will learn there. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Because in this chapter mainly I am going to teach you about goodwill, the different methods how to calculate goodwill. That only we are going to learn. So goodwill, it means reputation. When customer goes to the same shop again and again, it means goodwill of the firm is very good. So what is goodwill? I already taught you, a good reputation in the market. That is known as goodwill. And when a customer repeatedly goes to the same shop, means the goodwill of the firm is good in the market. Reputation is good. That's the reason customer is visiting the shop repeatedly. Now features or characteristics of goodwill. Intangible asset. Goodwill is always an intangible asset. What is the meaning of intangible asset? Intangible means those assets which we cannot see with our eyes, which we cannot touch with our hands. Just we can feel. Suppose I am telling that, for example, what? Like kindness. In English grammar, you must have studied this kindness, then your honesty. All these are feelings, right? In the same way, in our accounts also, those items or those things which we cannot see with our eyes, which we cannot touch with our fingers or hands, that is known as intangible asset. So what are intangible assets? Like goodwill, copyright, trademark, okay, now software, okay, all these are intangible assets. These are shown in the balance sheet asset side, but with our eyes we can't see, with our hands we cannot touch. Tangible assets are fixed assets, land and building, furniture, fixture, plant and machinery, all these assets are tangible assets. We can see with our eyes, we can touch with our hands. So are you understanding intangible assets and tangible assets?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now valuable asset. This goodwill is always a valuable asset. It has certain value in the market. Goodwill means this asset has a value in its market. That is the reason it attracts the customers. Customers are coming repeatedly means it is having some value. That's the reason customers are coming. It helps in earning profit. Obviously, suppose the business has a very good reputation in the market and customers are coming regularly to their shop, that it is attracting large number of customer, and the old customer will tell to 10 of their friends, then 10 new customer will enter. All these are happening because of the good reputation the business is having in the market. So goodwill helps in earning profit. It fluctuates continuously. So goodwill may fluctuate. For example, today, like suppose a business may have a very good reputation in the market, but it is very difficult to maintain that reputation. Due to a small mistake also, next day or after some years, it may lose its reputation. It is not fixed. We cannot guarantee that this particular business will have a good reputation throughout its life. No guarantee for the reputation. Now it is having a very good reputation, no doubt, but in future we don't know. It may sell, like when it starts earning huge amount of profit, it may betray or it may do any fraudulent practice with the customers. Then the customer will not go to their shop. It will have a bad impression on customers. It will lose its goodwill. That is the reason we are saying it fluctuates continuously. Goodwill fluctuates. It may increase, it may decrease during the period of time. It is not fixed forever. Goodwill is not a fictitious asset. What is the meaning of this fictitious? Fictitious means imaginary. We are thinking it is an asset, but in our imagination, it is not real. It is not like that. Goodwill is a real intangible asset. It is not fictitious. It is not imaginary asset. It exists. Good reputation exists in the market. Goodwill is an intangible asset but not fictitious asset. Any doubt in these theoretical part?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Factors affecting goodwill. Favorable location. Obviously, if very remote area or interior area any shop is there, only less number of customer it can attract. Only less number of customer will live there and they will go and buy the product. So favorable location, if it is in the main city, if it is in the main road, if it is in the main location, then it can attract large number of customers. Efficiency of management, obviously the person or the managers who are managing the business, they should be capable of managing it. Then only it will have a good reputation in the market. Then longevity, duration of business. Whenever a new business comes into the market, it has zero goodwill. It needs very long time to build goodwill. For example, suppose a new business has come into existence. All customer will not rush to them, because the customer will rush to the old shops where they feel they are giving them quality product. It will take some time to build a good reputation in the market. That is why longevity means duration of the time. 10 years, 20 years, some business may exist for 25 years. For those business, customer will trust and go in their shop instead of going to the shop which has come just now. So always goodwill takes time to build. It is not within a day. You can, today I have started any business, immediately I will earn a name in the market. No, it is time taking. Products, quality of products, of course, if the business is selling quality product at reasonable price to the customer, then only customer will get attracted. Suppose quality is very bad, prices are also very high, who will go and buy? We are not going to buy product of those business. So that's the reason. Business, if the business wants to build a good reputation in the market, it should first provide quality product to the customers and at reasonable price. If the price is very high, no one will come to the shop to buy the product. Understood or having any doubt here so far?
Understood,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yeah. Types of goodwill. There are basically two types of goodwill which we are going to learn. Self-generated goodwill, purchased goodwill. Self-generated goodwill means that the businessman know he has a very good reputation in the market. A large number of customers are attracted towards his shop. He is able to earn good amount of profit and everything he knows. But that self-generated goodwill cannot be shown in the balance sheet. It cannot be shown. What is the other type of goodwill? Purchased goodwill. Purchased goodwill is always shown in the book of accounts, that is in balance sheet asset side. Always the business shows this purchased goodwill. Remember, self-generated goodwill cannot be shown in the book of accounts. Okay, now we are going to learn about value of the firm. So purchased goodwill, what I said, shown in books asset side, because it can be measured in terms of money, and we know we record only those things in accounts which can be measured in terms of money. That is the reason honesty of the employees, kindness of the employees, hard working nature of the employees, all these matters a lot in earning profit, but still we cannot record in our book of accounts, because accounts record only those things which we can measure in terms of money. That is the reason self-generated goodwill we can't measure in terms of money. It doesn't have any monetary value. That's the reason we can't record or show in our balance sheet. But purchased goodwill, we are paying some amount after calculating how much goodwill is there in our business. Then we will pay that amount. Then that purchased goodwill we can show in our book of accounts. Now value of firm equals to assets minus liabilities. Suppose 2 crore assets, 50 lakh liabilities, value of the firm is 1.5 crore. That is, and suppose purchase consideration is 2 crore. Now what is the meaning of this? Purchase consideration means, suppose I am running a business. Now I am going to sell my business to some other company, to some other business, or to any individual person. So I will say to them that you have to pay me 2 crores. I will say. Then the person who wants to purchase my business, he will ask, what is the value of your assets? I will say 2 crores. Then the person will ask, how much liabilities you are having at present? I will say 50 lakhs. Then he will say, value of the firm is only 1.5 crore, but you are asking me to pay 2 crore. Why? Why should I pay you 2 crore? Then what I will say, the extra amount which you are going to pay me is for the name or the reputation which I have built in these years. Now you are coming and instantly you are going to purchase my business. I did a lot of hard work in earning good name in the market. Now my business is running successfully. It has a very good reputation in the market. Large number of customers are always attracted towards my business, and I am selling this to you. So this extra amount is for that goodwill which you don't have to build anymore. I have already built. You are going to enjoy. That's the reason. So now I hope you understood what is goodwill. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, dear. Yeah. So now take page number 4. Calculation of goodwill methods are. Now what are the methods using which we can calculate goodwill? All methods extremely important. In your board exam 100% question will come. 6 marks, maybe 8 marks, maybe 3, 4. So marks doesn't matter, 100% it will come means you should be thorough with each and every concept. So now first method, average profit method. This is one of the method through which we can calculate goodwill. Each and every method I will teach you in detail with like the problems. Second, weighted average profit method. Third, super profit method. Fourth, capitalization method. All these methods you have to learn with numericals. Any method they may ask you in your exam. Now, kindly write it down all, everything, whatever I am telling. Now, need for calculating goodwill. We are learning about goodwill, goodwill, goodwill. Now, what is the need? Why we should calculate goodwill? Change in, as I told, the same story repeats. Due to change in profit sharing ratio, we have to calculate goodwill. If any new partner comes into the business, we have to calculate goodwill. If any partner retires from the business, again we have to calculate. Any partner unexpectedly or unfortunately dies, we have to calculate, because the agreement, that is partnership deed, will change. Reconstitution will take place. Whenever reconstitution takes place, you have to calculate goodwill. So when reconstitution will take place in these situations? Amalgamation, if anyone is selling their business to some other person. So in all these situations, what is basically taking place? The agreement between the partners are changing. Reconstitution is taking place. That's the reason it is a need to calculate goodwill. I hope till here it's clear. Anyone, any doubt, dear? Sachin, Pavitra, Swarnika?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Now, calculation of goodwill. We are going to learn how to calculate goodwill by using which method? Average profit method. So, there is a formula. Goodwill equals to, when you do the calculation by using average profit method, there is a formula which you should learn. Goodwill equals to average profit multiplied by number of years purchased. What is this number of years purchased? Number of years purchased means whenever, suppose I am buying goodwill for my firm. I want to just see, I want to calculate goodwill for my firm. I am running a business. Then what I will do, and I am using this average profit method for calculation of this goodwill. First, average profit I will calculate, then I will multiply by number of years purchase, means for how many years I am purchasing goodwill. For example, suppose today I am purchasing, means from today till how many years this goodwill I can show it as an asset in my balance sheet. 5 years, 10 years, for how many years I am purchasing. I am paying the cash and purchasing goodwill for my firm. But for how many years? 5, 10, 15. So in this way, that is the meaning of number of years purchased. Average profit, how you will calculate average profit? Sum of profit divided by total number of years. In your question, when we will be solving the numerical problems, you will see that in your question 4 years, 5 years profit will be given. Very simple. You just have to add all the profit of different years given together. You have to subtract. Suppose 5 years profit is given. Whatever amount each year is given, you have to make sum total. Then you have to divide by 5. 10 years divide by 10. This is the way. And one more important note, kindly write it down whatever I am saying. It's important note. Suppose 5 years profit is given, and in between 5 years, suppose 2 year loss or 1 year loss is given. You should not add that loss into the profit. You have to subtract the loss. Suppose out of 5 years, 4 year profit is given, which is positive. 1 year they are saying loss. First you have to add that 4 years profit, then you have to subtract that 1 year loss, and you have to divide by 5. It is clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, because these are the silly things. Students don't know. They will do the mistake and the question will go wrong. That's the reason I'm explaining. They will think that loss also we have to add. If they try to add, question will go wrong. That's the reason. You don't do these mistakes. Important note. If there is any, you write this important note also. If there is any abnormal loss, it will be added back. I will explain what is abnormal loss. You just write it down. If there is any abnormal gain, it will be deducted. Deducted means you have to subtract. For example, always remember and write it down. We always want normal profit. I will explain what is the meaning of normal profit. We always want normal profit for calculating goodwill. Any method you can use, average, weighted, super profit, capitalization method. The rule doesn't change. Rule is same. Always we need only normal profit of the business of each year. We don't want net profit. Now, what is the meaning of this normal profit and net profit? Just go back to your class 11th. You used to prepare PL account, profit and loss account. So, in that account, what you used to do, in the debit side of PL account, you used to write all the expenses and losses of the business. Losses of all types. Any loss taken place, you will record it. So here I mean normal profit means you should not take that loss. What are those losses? For example, suppose business has sold any of its old asset and has suffered loss. That loss we used to record in the debit side of PL account, loss on sale of asset. In calculation of goodwill, you should not take that loss. You should not subtract that loss, because that is only abnormal loss. That is not the normal loss of the business. What will be the normal loss in the business? Like normal expenses or normal losses only you have to take. Any abnormal loss you should not take. Any loss which happens like once for a while, it does not happen regularly. It is not, like depreciation, it is a normal loss. Depreciation means every year you have to charge depreciation on the fixed assets business is having. So it is a normal loss. It is also a loss. Depreciation is a loss, but it is normal. But loss on sale of an asset is abnormal loss. That is the reason we don't take while calculating goodwill. So what you have to do, if there is any abnormal loss, you have to add back. Suppose 5 years profit is given. In question they will tell you everything. Suppose first year profit is given, and in adjustment they will say first year whatever date is given in your question, during this year there was loss on sale of asset included. Immediately what you will do, it means whatever profit you are seeing 5 years, 4 years, that is net profit. That is the reason you are doing the adjustment. That is not the normal profit. That is net profit. That is the profit which business got from preparing PL account. Now you have to do the adjustment for getting normal profit. How you will do? Any abnormal loss will reduce the profit. And what the question says, we should not reduce any abnormal profit from the business. That's the abnormal loss. I'm sorry. Any abnormal loss like loss on sale or any voluntary retirement payment or like loss due to earthquake, all these type of losses if happens in the business, what you will do, you have to add back in order to get the normal profit. Are you understanding what are abnormal losses? We will study in detail, don't worry. But are you understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. In the same way, what is this abnormal gain? Just do the reverse. If loss on sale of an asset is abnormal loss, means profit on sale of an asset, if any old asset is sold by the business and business earned some profit, that is abnormal gain for the business. So that you have to deduct, because that will be added in the net profit. Now we want normal profit. So when you subtract that income, you will get normal profit. So in this question, like it is an example, number of years purchase, suppose 3, and profits are given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 years profit given. Okay, first year, second year, third year, fourth year, 5 year. First year suppose 25,000 profit, second year 35,000, third year profit 30, fourth year 40,000, fifth year 50,000, for example. Now how to calculate average profit? 25,000 plus 35,000 plus 30,000 plus 40,000 plus 50,000 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. If you do this, you will get average profit 36,000. This you will get. Now what is the formula? Goodwill equals to, you don't write AP, you have to write average profit. You have to use full form, don't use short form. Average profit multiplied by, you don't write NO dot, you write number, NUMBER, number of years purchased. So average profit 36,000 multiplied by number of years 3. So goodwill will be 1,08,000. Any doubts so far?
No, ma'am.
Oh,
No, ma'am.
okay, dear. Swarnika, are you understanding, dear?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh. Now page number 6. We are going to learn different types of abnormal losses like loss by fire, loss by theft, loss on sale of an asset, voluntary retirement payment. All these, whenever you see in your question, all these are abnormal losses. Write it down. And what you have to do in order to get the normal profit, because net profit will be given in your question, you have to add back. So whenever you see these type of any abnormal losses in that particular year net profit, just you have to add back so that you get the normal profit. Now what about abnormal gain? What are the abnormal gain? Lottery, dividend received, interest on investment, profit on sale of asset, claim against insurance. So all these are abnormal gain. These are not the normal profit. In order to get normal profit, you have to subtract these abnormal gains. You have to subtract. So just remember, whenever you see any abnormal losses on the question, you have to add back. Whenever you see abnormal profit, you have to subtract. These things you have to do. Now future expectation expenses, insurance premium, okay, remuneration to be paid, these also you have to subtract. These future expectation expenses you should subtract from the net profit. Suppose the question tells salary needs to be paid to the employees, means salary is not paid yet, you have to subtract because these are normal expenses. See, this insurance premium, remuneration to be paid are normal expenses. Sometime you will find in your question they will say insurance premium needs to be paid, this salary needs to be paid, wages needs to be paid. These are the normal expenses. If it is not paid, you have to pay, you have to subtract from the profit. So you have to subtract. Understood? This future expectation expenses you need to subtract from the profit.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we are moving to question number 1. Calculate goodwill of the firm on the basis of 3 years purchase of the average profit of the last 5 years. The profits for the year are. So what the question tells you, you have to calculate the goodwill. What is given in your question? 3 years purchase and average profit for 5 years is given. This information is given. So you have to, the question is like this, question doesn't end. Year 2013 to 14, 2014, 15, 15, 16, 16, 17, 17, 18. Amounts 13, 14, 4 lakh, 14, 15, these are the profits, 5 lakh, 15, 16, whenever anything written inside the bracket, you have to understand it is a negative figure, means you have to subtract. It's a loss. This 60,000 is a loss. So you have to subtract this loss. 16, 17, 1,50,000, these are profits. 17, 18, 2,50,000. What is the additional information given? On 1st January 2016. When you read and when you do this type of question, first always remember you have to first understand this 1st January 2016 which year falls, because this 2013-14 means what you understand, 1st April 2013 to 31st March 2014. In the same way, 1st April 2014 to 31st March 2015. In this way it goes. So 1st January 2016 which year falls? You have to first say. So see, 2015 1st April, 2016 31st March, means this third year when the loss has happened, 60,000 loss. This year this 1st January 2016 falls, if I am not wrong. So because January comes 2016 this year and the year ends 31st March 2016 here. So this year a fire broke out, fire unexpectedly broke out in the factory or in the business. which resulted into a loss of rupees 3 lakh. And this is abnormal loss. This is not a normal loss. A claim of rupees 70,000 was received. There was a loss in the business 3 lakh rupees. Insurance company paid 70,000. Claim received. Already insurance company compensated the loss of 70,000 from the insurance company. Okay. Now what is the second adjustment? During the year ended 31st March 2018. 31st means this last year 2017 1st April to 31st March 2018. This year 2,50,000 profit. They are talking about this year. What they are saying? The firm received an unexpected tax refund. Unexpected tax refund fund. Firm received means it is abnormal gain. In this way you have to understand the question. It is abnormal gain. This is not the normal gain. Every year no means no government office, they just refund the tax and all. So this happens once for a while. That is the reason it's abnormal gain of rupees 80,000. Fine. You know the formula, goodwill equals to average profit multiplied by, always you have to write the formula dear. Whenever you are doing formula based questions, you have to first write the formula, you have to write the given information, then analyze and you have to solve. So goodwill equals to, you have to write average profit. Again I am repeating, don't use short form. So write full form, average profit multiplied by number of years purchase. First write the formula. Then you can put the values. Now what you will do? You can take page number 8. Whenever additional informations are given, whenever you find additional informations in your question, you have to prepare adjustment table. So first prepare this adjustment table. How to prepare? Very easy. First write particulars. Then how many number of years given in your question? 5, 13, 14. 14, 15, 15, 16, 16, 17, 17, 18. Total 5 years profit loss given. So in this way you can write. After that, each year's profit or loss given in your question you have to write. So profit or loss 13, 14, 4 lakh. 14, 15, 5 lakh. 15, 16 is a loss. You should be very alert. Loss means you should write in bracket and you have to subtract. Then 16, 17, 1,50,000. 17, 18, 2,50,000. Any doubt dear? So far you have any doubt, anyone?
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now you have to do the adjustment. Why we are preparing this adjustment table? Because during some particular year there is an adjustment. You have to first do that, then you have to solve. So what are the adjustments? See, 15, 16. If you come to 15, 16, right? Why 15, 16? Because on 1st January 2016 there was abnormal loss. How much that loss? 3 lakh rupees was that loss. Okay. So what you have to do whenever abnormal loss is given in your question, what you have to do? You have to add back. So what you are going to do? You are going to add back this 3 lakh rupees in this 60,000, and remember 60,000 is a negative figure. You have to subtract because it's a loss. There you are going to add 3 lakh. Means very simple, 3 lakh minus 60,000. Simple maths. Now about 70,000, it is abnormal gain. Insurance company paid you 70,000 for the loss. It has compensated you. So what you are going to do? You are going to subtract, because there is a rule and I taught you everything. Whenever there is abnormal gain or abnormal profit, you have to what you have to do? You have to subtract. In case of abnormal loss, you have to add. Remember, abnormal loss, add. Abnormal gain, subtract. This 70,000 is the abnormal gain received from insurance company. Now you have to subtract. This is not the normal profit or normal income for the business. So this adjustment first you will do. Then again there is adjustment in 17, 18. The second adjustment, if you read, during the year ended 31st March, that is last year 2017-18, unexpected tax refund 80,000. Again abnormal income you have to subtract. Which year? From which year profit you will subtract less abnormal gain, that is tax refund from 17, 18, 2,50,000. From there you have to subtract 80,000. You can use this bracket. This denotes that it's a what you are going to subtract. It's a negative figure you are going to subtract. Now, after till here, any doubt? Pavitra, Swarnika, Sachin, any doubt you people are having? Anyone?
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Now, what
No,
you?
ma'am.
Yes, dear. You said something.
No, ma'am, I don't have any doubt. I said.
Okay, fine. So first we are going to solve. We are going to write the profit after adjustment. 13-14. There was no adjustment in 13-14. 13-14 means 1st April 2013 to 31st March 2014, the financial year. Now 4 lakh rupees profit you can write as it is, 4 lakh. No change in that profit. Why? No adjustment. So same profit. What about next year? Next year means 1st April 2014 to 31st March 2015. 5 lakh. Again second year no change. Same profit 5 lakh. What about the third year? There is a change. There are adjustments. So 1st April 2015 to 31st March 2016. What you will do? Two figures are negative. You have to subtract. One figure is positive 3 lakh. So from 3 lakh you will subtract 60,000. You will subtract 70,000. When you do these calculations, you can do it and see whether these are coming or not. You do yourself in rough work. Then write. Then you will get 1,70,000. This much you will get. Now 16-17 next year. 16-17 means 1st April 2016 to 31st March 2017. There was no adjustment. Same 1,50,000 you can write as it is. What about next? 1st April 2007. 1st April 2017 to 31st March 2018. Profit 2,50,000, but there was abnormal gain, that is income tax refund 80,000, which is abnormal gain. You have to subtract from this 2,50,000. So when you subtract, kindly you do in your working notes in the rough column and then write. Don't just copy. It's a request. Never copy as it is from PDF. You just try to solve yourself the proper working notes, proper presentation. Okay, it's a practical subject, so you have to be very perfect in presentation and calculations, everything. Do it yourself and try to solve all the questions during the class, whatever I am teaching. Okay, fine. So now now you are going to get 1,70,000. Fine. So now we got the adjusted profit. Now what you are going to do? This adjusted profit you have to add together, and if any year any loss you have to subtract and then do. How you are going to do? Average profit equals to, see after adjustment, don't see before adjustment. So if you see after adjustment first year, that is 13-14, 4 lakh. 4 lakh plus, then after adjustment 14-15, 5 lakh. Plus after adjustment 15-16, 1,70,000. After adjustment 16-17, 1,50,000. All are positive figures after adjustment. If any negative, you have to subtract. Before adjustment, there is like negative figure, but you have to see after making the adjustment. So after making adjustment, all are positive only. 17-18, 1,70,000 divided by 5. Why? Number of years profit is given, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years profits given. That's the reason you are dividing by 5. When you add all these together, just kindly add it down in the rough work. Then you have to divide by 5. You will get, how much you will get? 13,90,000 divided by 5. Then the average profit will be 2,78,000. When you add all this, you will get 13,90,000. You have to divide by 5. Then you will get the average profit 2,78,000. Do it and see whether you are getting or not. Don't copy. Just do and see whether these are coming or not. Now come back to your formula. Again write the formula again. Write it. Goodwill equals to, you know the formula, average profit multiplied by number of years purchase. Now you can place the values. So what values you will place? Goodwill equals to average profit. You know, you have calculated average profit 2,78,000. You can write directly 2,78,000 multiplied by number of years purchase given, already given in our question 3. Write 3. So goodwill equals to, when you multiply 2,78,000 multiplied by 3, you will get 8,34,000 goodwill. This is the answer, because they ask you to calculate goodwill. We have calculated. Any doubt in this particular question, dear?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Actually, in your boards, maximum time average profit question comes, and with adjustment, these type of adjustments they will give, and they will ask you to calculate the goodwill. Other methods also come. I am not saying that only this method come, but maximum time this method is asked. Other methods also they may ask anything, because whatever there in your syllabus, you have to be 100% thorough. Anything they may ask. Anything, any concept, you should be thorough. So this type of questions comes with adjustment only. They will give 2 adjustment maximum, I think. Okay, I think that's all for today, dear. We will be continuing our class and next all the sums. There are a lot of sums in this. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Any doubt you are having so far? Like today's class, you want to ask anyone anything not understood?
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Okay, dear. Then revise till here. Send me the notes, today's notes immediately. Okay. Thank you, dear.
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
But, ma'am,
Thank you, dear. Bye.